Alright, Shalom. This is Ariel being Yasharala down here in the Lions Den camp. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Racha, Kodash, Ma'amath. A double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. A double honor to my elder as well, Ahar one by Yasharala down here in the Lions Den camp. And a sincere Thawada to the Akim, the Akwatim, and the children who are pushing truth and believing with sincerity. Shalom, Thawada. Okay. All right, so I just want to finish reading chapters 9 and 10 of Acts. Salakia for the long hiatus, just human stuff. So this is Acts chapter 9, and as always, I'm gonna read the prologue to the chapter. All right, this is the prologue to Acts chapter 9, verses 1 to 4. Is about Saul going towards Damascus. Verses 4 to 10, it says, is stricken down to earth. Verses 10 to 18, is called to the apostleship and is baptized by Ananias. Verses 18 to 20, Salakia. Verses 10 to 18 is called to the apostleship. Verses 18 to 20, and is baptized by Ananias. Verses 20 to 23, he preacheth a Mashiach boldly. Verses 23 to 29 of the chapter says the Jews lay wait to kill him. Verses 29 to 31, so do the Grecians, but he escapeth both. Verses 31 to 36, the church having rest, Peter healeth, and I think that's pronounced Ari and Area Salakia. It's Aeries. So Arius of the palsy, verses 36 to the rest of the chapter, and restoreth Tabitha to life. All right, so I'm gonna get into it. Acts chapter 9, verse 1. It says, and Saul, yet breathing out threatenings and slaughter against the disciples of the Lord, went unto the high priest and desired of him letters to Damascus to the synagogues, that if he found any of this way, whether they were men or women, he might bring them into he might bring them bound unto Jerusalem. And as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round about him a light from heaven, and he fell to the earth, and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? And he said, who art thou, O Lord? And Yahweh said, Salakia, and the Lord said, I am Yahweh Shai, whom thou persecutest. It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. And he, trembling and astonished, said, Yahushua, what wilt thou have me to do? And Yahushua said unto him, arise and go into the city, and it shall be told thee, Salakia. Need a little bit more light, Salakia. And it shall be told thee what thou must do. And the men which journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice, but seeing no man. And Saul rose from the earth, and when his eyes were open, he saw no man, and they led him by the hand and brought him to Damascus. And he was 3 days without sight, and neither did eat nor drink. And there was a certain disciple at Damascus named Ananias, and to him said the Lord in a vision, Ananias, and he said, behold, I am here, Lord. And the Lord said unto him, arise, Yahushua. And Yahushua said unto him, arise and go into the street which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Judas for one called Saul of Tarsus, Lakia. For behold, he prayeth. And he hath seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in, and putting his hand on him, that he might receive his sight. Then Ananias answered, Yahushua, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he hath done to thy saints in Jerusalem. So he was hesitant. I'll bring it down here actually. Make sure the all right. Behold, I am here, Lord. Receive his sight. Verse 14. And here he hath authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on thy name, that name being Yahushua. And that's very important because IUIC, they teach that the name isn't important or that you can call him any name that you want to, but it's evident that Yahushua and the apostles who were following Yahushua followed a specific individual. They followed a certain individual. They didn't follow Buddha. They didn't follow Yo Play Yogurt. They didn't follow Christ. They didn't follow Jesus. They followed Yahushua, which means he delivers. Because that's what we want. We want to be delivered out of this situation. We want to be delivered out of this kingdom. Slakia. The situation, the slavery situation, this wicked situation that we're in because we went off to thy name. Verse 15. But the Lord said unto him, Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me to bear my name. There it goes again, to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. So that name is important. And Ananias went his way and entered into the house, and putting his hands on him, said, Brother Saul, the Lord, even Yahushua that appeared unto thee in the way as thou camest, hath sent me, that thou mightest receive thy sight and be filled with the Holy Spirit. And immediately there fell from his eyes as it had been scales, and he received sight forthwith, and arose and was baptized. And when he had received meat, he was strengthened. Then was Saul certain days, so like he was strengthened. Then was Saul certain days with the disciples which were at Damascus. And straightway he preached a Mashiach in the synagogues, that he is the Son of Yahweh. But all that heard him were amazed and said, Is not this he that destroyed them, which called on his name in Jerusalem, and came hither for that intent, that he might bring them bound unto the chief priests? So they're like, man, what made him change his tune? But Saul increased the more in strength, and confounded the Jews which dwelt at Damascus, proving that this very Mashiach. And after that many days were fulfilled, the Jews took counsel to kill him. They were laying wait, but their laying wait was known of Saul, and they watched the gates day and night to kill him. They were plotting. The same way Jake standing on a street corner, plotting to kill their brother as well. And that same spirit of Esau, that same spirit of the Romans, just wickedness. Verse 25. Then the disciples took him by night and let him down by the wall in a basket. And when Saul was come to Jerusalem, he essayed to join. He assayed, ASSAYED, to join. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Assay says determine the content or quality of a metal or ore. To attempt, so they attempted to determine, attempt. All right, to try. All right, okay, cool. So they attempted. All right, so, and when Saul was come to Jerusalem, he assayed, which means attempted. He attempted to join himself to the disciples, but they were all afraid of him and believed not that he was a disciple. But Barnabas took him and brought him to the apostles, and declared unto them how he had seen the Lord in the way, and that he had spoken to him, and he had preached, and how he had preached boldly at Damascus in the name of Yahushua. And he was with them coming in and going out at Jerusalem. And he spake boldly in the name of the Lord Yahushua and disputed against the Grecians. And they went about to slay him. He about to get killed by everybody. And those times are coming up as well. Like right now, we have the freedom and we have the luxury to preach the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. But pretty soon, we're not gonna have that. Well, we're always gonna have that time and freedom, but we're gonna be what's the word I'm looking for? We're gonna be not crucified. Dang, what is the word I'm looking for? We're gonna be singled out more. I'll say we're gonna be singled out more. We're gonna be persecuted. The one. That's the word I'm looking for. We're gonna be persecuted more for believing in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. When brother knew, verse 30. Which when the brethren knew, they brought him down to Caesarea and sent him forth to Tarsus. Then had the churches rest throughout all Judea and Galilee and Samaria, and were edified, and walking in the fear of Yahweh and in the comfort of the Holy Spirit were multiplied. And it came to pass, as Peter passed throughout all quarters, he came down also to the saints which dwelt at Lydia. And there he found a certain man named Aeneas, Ananias. That looks like Ananias, but it looks like a different Ananias. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Aeneas. All right, so it's Aeneas. And there he found a certain man named Aeneas, which had kept his bed 8 years and was sick of the palsy. I'm at a park right now. Somebody's getting out of their car. They're about to play basketball, so I can't follow the noise. Which had kept his bed 8 years and was sick of the palsy. And Peter said unto him, Aeneas, Yahushua Mashiach maketh thee whole. Arise and make thy bed. And he arose immediately. And all that dwelt at Lydia and Saron saw him and turned to the Lord. And now there was at Iopa, a certain disciple named Tabitha, which by interpretation is called Dorcas. This woman was full of good works and alms deeds, which she did. And it came to pass in those days that she was sick and died, whom when they had washed, they laid her in an upper chamber. And for as much as Lydia was nigh at Iopa, and the disciples had heard that Peter was there, they sent him 2 men, desiring him that he would not delay to come to them. Then Peter arose and went with them, and when he was come, they brought him into the upper chamber, and all the widows stood by him weeping, and showing the coats and garments which Dorcas made while she was with them. But Peter put them all forth, and kneeled down and prayed, and turning him to the body, said, Tabitha, arise. And she opened her eyes, and when she saw Peter, she sat up. And he gave her his hand and lifted her up. And when he had called the saints and widows, presented her alive. And it was known throughout all Iopa, if I'm mispronouncing that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Well, hold on. All right, I couldn't find the proper pronunciation. It kept taking me to a Korean word, so I don't know. But I feel confident saying Iapa. Verse 42. And it was known throughout all Iapa, and many believed in Yahweh. And it came to pass that he tarried many days in Iapa with one Simon, a tanner. All All right, so that's the end of chapter 9.